Topping today's news, the National Insurance Board preparing employers and employees for the upcoming rate increase. The Davis administration passing new laws to govern natural gas facilities. We hear why accident and emergency at Princess Margaret Hospital is taking so long to complete. And the Haitian Prime Minister, Mr. Henry, officially resigns from office. Good evening, Bahamas. I'm Jarino Saunders. This is your Jcn Evening News. Thank you so much for joining us. As Bahamians brace for the 1.5% NIB rate increase that takes effect July 1st, at the Office of the Prime Minister's weekly press briefing today, Director of the National Insurance Board, Heather Maynard, is informing NIB beneficiaries what to expect once the new rate is implemented. She is also defending the increase and explains how employers and employees will be affected.
For employers and employees, the 1.5% is shared equally. The employees' rate increases from 5.9% to 6.65%, and the employees' rate increases from 3.9% to 4.65%. For the self-employed, the new rate is 10.3%, and for voluntarily insured persons, the new rate is 6.5%. We encourage all employees to get prepared by following our next steps recommendations.
The coming rate increase is a significant change considering the last and only increase at NIB's history was a 1% increase in 2010. Director Maynard maintains the rate hike is necessary.
National insurance in the Bahamas has always been very inclusive and generous, but it has come at a cost. Since 2016, NIB has experienced a deficit. Consecutive actual reports have indicated that the contribution rate should be increased to prevent the depletion of the reserve of the pension branch before the year 2028. To meet obligations, the report has recommended that the national insurance rate should increase by 1.5% initially, and that the time to act is now. To ease the burden to employers, NIB sees this as a phased process starting with an initial increase of 1.5%.
Ms. Maynard encourages all Bahamians to use the dedicated rate increase site, nibrateincrease.com, as a resource before the rate increase takes effect. A growing economy and decreasing debt prompts rating agency Moody's to keep the Bahamas pegged at B1 stable. In Moody's Investors Service latest update on the Bahamas, it highlights that the economy expanded by 2.6% year over year, with most industries recording growth in 2023. The report points out that there was strong recovery in 2021 and 2022, with GDP growth of 17% and 14.4% respectively. On the Bahamas' policy framework, Moody's notes that the country's monetary and macroeconomic policy effectiveness is supported by the long track record of the currency peg, which reflects the Central Bank of the Bahamas' policy credibility. Looking ahead, Moody's sees the Bahamas' improved fiscal policy framework as a driver for decreasing government debt levels. The report will no doubt be welcomed by the Davis administration. Bahamas Power and Light operates some 29 power stations on 17 islands, and according to the government, it will take more than $500 million to upgrade infrastructure that mainly operates on fossil fuels. Well, on Wednesday in the House of Assembly, the minister responsible for energy, JoBeth Kobe Davis, read the following bill related to natural gas for the first time.
Madam Speaker, I beg leave to introduce and have read for the first time a copy of the following. A bill for an act to regulate the import, regasification, storage, transport, and retail of natural gas, to provide for the licensing of natural gas facilities and terminals, and to provide for safety standards in the natural gas sector and for matters connected therewith.
Thank you, Honourable Member.
Successive governments have discussed the introduction of natural gas, but it appears as though the Davis administration is prepared to take meaningful steps towards implementing natural gas facilities to generate more affordable and reliable electricity. Debate on the Natural Gas Bill 2024 is expected to begin on Wednesday, May 1st. Delays in construction on the second phase of renovations to PMH's Accident and Emergency Department has left the hospital wing closed off to the public. Managing Director of the Public Hospitals Authority, Aubernet Roll, reveals that contractors are currently tasked with major repairs to the building's rooftop, which has delayed the completion date.
But you know, we have a very old facility. And in doing those work, we found some things that were not discovered originally. So those things that we call spalling, places that are leaking, changing of copper lines and all of that. So we have just concluded to get funding for that. And once that is done, we will move forward.
Ms. Roll says furniture and equipment have been procured and hospital administrators are looking forward to moving them into the refurbished facility within the next few weeks.
That way before the summer, staff would have been moved in. We understand, and I really want to thank my staff as well as the Bahamian patients for the people for their patience, but it was those things that were unexpected that normally happens when you're not starting from a new facility. You're dealing with an older facility. But the majority of the work has been completed, so as soon as we close up the ceilings and minor works, then we'll be able to move forward.
Ms. Roll said contractors have released projection dates for the completion of the accident and emergency section, but they are awaiting the Public Hospital Authority's approval before finalizing those dates. And finally, in this segment, Haiti's Prime Minister Ariel Henry officially announced his resignation today, handing power over to a transitional council that will seek to regain some semblance of law and order in Haiti. In his resignation letter, Mr. Henry said, given the current state of affairs, the time was right for him to step down. He said that he and his team, they have served the nation in difficult times, and he thanked everyone who had the courage to face such challenges with him. In recent months, Haiti has been overrun by gang violence against individuals and government entities. Haiti's Finance Minister, Michael Boisvert, has been appointed as the interim Prime Minister until a new government is formed. During his swearing-in ceremony, Mr. Boisvert said Haiti is at a crossroads in search of solutions to overcome the multi-dimensional political crisis that has lasted decades. The Transitional Council, comprised of 7 trusted members, they've got until February 2026 to stage free and fair elections that would result in a new Prime Minister and a new cabinet for Haiti. We'll take a break here. We'll be right back after these commercials.